The rain was falling softly over the city that evening. Inside the luxurious conference hall of Orion Technologies, hundreds of employees sat quietly, waiting for the annual corporate presentation to begin. Among them sat a young intern named Daniel Carter. Daniel was quiet, introverted, and always kept to himself. He didn't come from wealth or privilege. In fact, he had grown up in a small town where opportunities were rare. But he had one thing that most people around him didn't: determination. Daniel believed that one day he would become someone important. However, on that particular day, everything changed. Or, at least, it seemed like it did. The humiliation. At exactly 3 p.m., the CEO's daughter, Olivia Hayes, walked into the room. Olivia was known throughout the company. She was beautiful, confident, and incredibly arrogant. Everyone treated her like royalty. After all, her father owned the entire company. Olivia looked around the room and noticed Daniel sitting quietly in the back. She smirked. "Hey, you," she said loudly, pointing at him. The entire room turned to look. Daniel slowly stood up. "Yes, ma'am." Olivia laughed. "Did anyone tell you interns aren't supposed to sit here?" Some employees chuckled. Daniel looked confused. I thought everyone was allowed." Olivia walked closer, her heels echoing across the floor. "You thought?" she said mockingly. Then she looked around the room. "Guys, listen to this. The intern thinks he belongs here with the executives." Laughter filled the room. Daniel's face turned red. He could feel every eye staring at him. Olivia crossed her arms. "Tell me something," she said. "Do you even know who I am?" Daniel nodded slightly. "You're Olivia Hayes." "Exactly," she replied. "And this company? It belongs to my family." She leaned closer. "And you are nothing." The words hit Daniel like a knife. But Olivia wasn't finished. She grabbed his ID card, looked at it, and read his name out loud. Daniel Carter, intern. Then she tossed the badge back at him. "You should be grateful you even got a chance to enter this building." The room went silent. Daniel didn't say anything. He simply picked up his badge and walked out. Behind him, the room erupted in laughter. That was the day Daniel Carter was humiliated in front of the entire company. But what nobody realized was that they had just awakened something inside him, the promise. That night, Daniel sat alone in his tiny apartment. He replayed Olivia's words again and again. "You are nothing." The sentence echoed in his mind. For hours, he stared at the city lights outside his window. Then he whispered something quietly. "One day, you'll regret those words." And from that moment forward, Daniel changed. The transformation. The next 5 years were brutal. Daniel worked harder than anyone around him. He studied business, finance, programming, and leadership. While others slept, he worked. While others partied, he learned. While others wasted time, Daniel built his future. He started small. First, a freelance tech service. Then a small startup. Then an app that quickly became popular. Within 2 years, investors noticed him. Within 3 years, his company exploded in value. And by the 5th year, Daniel Carter had become one of the youngest tech entrepreneurs in the country. His company was now worth millions. But Daniel wasn't finished, because he still remembered one place: Orion Technologies, the company where he was humiliated, the opportunity. One day, Daniel received news that shocked him. Orion Technologies was struggling financially. Their outdated systems and poor management were slowly destroying the company. Investors were pulling out. Stocks were falling. The company was desperate for a buyer. Daniel smiled. This was the moment. Through his investment firm, Daniel began quietly buying Orion shares. No one noticed at first, but slowly, Daniel gained control. And within 6 months, he owned the majority of the company. The same company where he was once laughed at. The return. The morning was bright and calm when Daniel walked into Orion Technologies again. 5 years had passed, but the building looked exactly the same. Employees rushed through the hallways, unaware of what was about to happen. Inside the conference hall, a meeting had been called. All senior employees were present, and sitting confidently at the front was Olivia Hayes. She had now become the company's acting director. She still carried the same arrogant attitude. As the meeting began, the manager spoke. Today we will be introducing the new majority owner of Orion Technologies. Whispers filled the room. Olivia leaned back in her chair. Another boring investor, she muttered. Then the door opened. A man walked inside. Tall, confident, dressed in a sleek black suit. The room fell silent. Olivia looked up casually. But the moment her eyes met his face, her expression froze. It was Daniel Carter. The shock. For a moment, Olivia thought she was hallucinating. The intern she had humiliated was now standing at the front of the room. The manager spoke again. Everyone, please welcome our new owner and CEO, Mr. Daniel Carter. The room erupted in shocked murmurs. Daniel walked calmly to the front. His voice was calm and controlled. Good morning, everyone. He paused. Then his eyes slowly met Olivia's. Recognition filled the room. Some employees whispered, "Isn't that the intern from years ago?" Olivia felt her stomach drop. Daniel continued speaking. "I used to sit in that exact seat," he said, pointing to the back of the room. 5 years ago. The room became silent, and I remember something very clearly. He looked directly at Olivia. "Someone told me I was nothing." Olivia's face turned pale. Daniel smiled slightly. "But life is interesting." He walked slowly toward her. "Because today," he stopped beside her chair, "I own the company." The room went completely silent. The final lesson. Olivia couldn't speak. For the first time in her life, she felt small. Daniel looked around the room. "I didn't come here for revenge," he said calmly. "I came here to rebuild this company." Then he looked back at Olivia. "But I hope everyone here remembers something." He paused. "Never underestimate someone just because they start at the bottom." The room erupted in applause. Daniel walked back to the front of the room, and Olivia sat silently in her chair because the boy she once called nothing had become the man who owned everything.